Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Today, we are going to be dealing with Empress Sela, otherwise known as Empress Bitch Tits. I don't like her. She's a delusional, psychotic, narcissistic bitch with delusions that are just unrealistic. I have no love for her. And frankly, she's freaking insane. And should have been shot a long time ago.
You may have heard about the tragedy at Kittimer. Empress Sela attempted to disrupt the conference with a bomb, resulting in the death of Commander Tamer. Now, Sela is offering a political reconciliation with the Federation, despite the fact that we have allied with the Romulan Republic. She has invited Federation diplomats to meet with her delegation at a secure base on the edge of the neutral zone. However, we have recently received intelligence that Sela is amassing a fleet. We are sending you with the peace delegation as cover for your investigation into Sela's activities. This is a very delicate situation. You must try to covertly obtain information about Sela's plans without disrupting our peace efforts or upsetting Sela. However, we do have an agent in her retinue who will help you.
Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Why is he using the Nebula? Where's the Excelsior? Well, to be perfectly honest, I am avoiding any ship that I technically have yet don't have. And as much as I don't want to, I don't have the legendary Excelsior, and I likely won't have the legendary Excelsior until the end of the year. Pending, of course, on Cryptic's ability to unscrew the Zen situation. The dilithium exchange is a little bit chaotic at the moment, as you might have guessed. On the plus side, it lets you view some of the most beautiful designs ever seen. I mean, just look at the Nebula. She's gorgeous. I get it, this is the so-called Farragut design, not the original Nebula. But the original Nebula class, well, it does predate the galaxy. After all, the registry code of the Phoenix was, what, in the 60,000 range? Predates the commissioning of the Enterprise D, which was only the third Galaxy-class starship ever built, if I remember correctly.
Greetings and welcome to Agrama. I am pleased that Starfleet sent such a notable officer as its representative at this conference. Please enter a standard orbit and transport down to these coordinates. This meeting may mark the beginning of a new day for the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire.
Ha ha. Anywho, I'm going to be playing around with the Nebula for a bit. This is the most well-known variation of the design. The torpedo pod, the galaxy deflector dish. But I figure I might as well play around with the original, with the Nebula for a bit, with all the skins that appeared in the TV show. I will not be using any of the skins from STO. I hate the Magellan. I really hate the Sutherland. Yeah. Not a happy gibble.
The rest of the delegates are already in the conference room. My aide, Jevem, will take you there. I have some business to attend to before we begin.
And I'm just gonna run in. Because I really have no reason to, well, follow him. I've done this mission literally hundreds of times.
The Romulans can be so difficult to deal with, especially these Imperials. They are forever setting traps, twisting words, and jockeying for advantage. Even a conference with the Klingons would be preferable. At least you know where you stand with Klingons. I'm reminded of a line I read once in an ancient Earth text. Hide a knife behind a smile. Every smile here hides a knife.
Apologies for that. I was actually AFK getting a drink.
I thought the Federation's alliance with the Romulan Republic would be the end of any meaningful dialogues with Empress Sela. After all, she considers the Republic to be a terrorist organization. She may have an ulterior motive for inviting us here, but we had to take the chance that Sela's offer to negotiate is sincere, and act in kind. The Federation must pursue every avenue for peace.
And people wonder why everyone calls him an idiot. He is! I mean, alright, he has a point. He's a member of the diplomatic corps. It's kind of what he's supposed to do. Even if he's incompetent.
We are so pleased that you were able to attend our conference. The Empire was quite dismayed at your decision to support the terrorist insurgents rather than the rightful government of the Romulan people. So much for your vaunted Prime Directive. In any case, neither of us benefit from extended conflict. So, despite your questionable alliances, we are choosing to open negotiations in hopes of normalizing relations between the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire.
I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this. The Star Empire died with Phobos. What this is not the same state. It is one of many successors. It certainly uses the name. But the Federation is not legally obligated to uphold any treaty with Sela. Because, let's be honest, the Star Empire is dead.
It is agreeable to meet with you. You have my people's enduring gratitude for how you handled that matter with Ambassador Soka. This is another trying time for Vulcan. The Romulan Star Empire blames the Vulcan Science Academy for the Phobos supernova that destroyed their world. They are utterly intransigent in this misguided belief, despite the fact that Ambassador Spock warned them of the danger and ultimately gave his life to stop the loss of even more worlds. Romulans are a most illogical people. Sometimes I find it hard to believe we were once a single species.
Not exactly difficult.
Welcome to Agrama. Isn't this a lovely facility? You must tour the atrium later. Hard to believe this system was infested by Orion pirates not long ago. You know, some of my colleagues were against this meeting, but I lobbied for it. I said the entire Federation cannot be as blind as the people who were at the farce at Khitomer. If you just see the problems the Romulan Republic are causing, I'm sure you can persuade your government to reconsider their rash choice and sever their agreements with these rebels.
You know why the Federation sided to side with the Romulans? Well, the Republicans? It's because, unlike you, they weren't trying to actively screw them over. I mean, I don't want to bring up... Oh, hell, I'm gonna have to bring up Picard, aren't I? A Romulan agent infiltrated the highest levels of Starfleet Command and screwed everything over. Yeah, they're never trusting you ever again. And they're never gonna fully trust the Republic either. Let's be honest. It's gonna take a long time for every single Romulan to not be a treacherous little bastard. Am I being a bit of a cynic? Perhaps. a little bit racist? Sadly, it is not racism if it is true. Even Titan shows signs of typical Romulanness.
I am so pleased to see the Federation recognize and attempt to rectify its past mistakes. I knew that a people as clever as yours would realize eventually that it is folly to antagonize the Romulan Star Empire. I am also confident it will only be a matter of time before you realize that you have made a grievous error by allying yourselves with terrorists, scoundrels, and thieves. The sooner you renounce your poorly considered alliance with the so-called Romulan Republic, the sooner we will be able to come to a mutually beneficial arrangement.
And it is those sorts of statements that made the Federation side with the Republic.
I apologize for the interruption. My name is Tokav. I am one of the stewards here. We've had a slight complication with the dietary requirements of some of your delegation. Could I borrow you for a moment so we can clear this up?
Before someone interrupted me. It's comments like those that made the Federation side with the Republic and not bother with Sela. Before you ask, what is he using? Is that the Thompson submachine gun again? Why is he using the Tommy gun? It's not a very Starfleet weapon. Well, for one, this is for when I want to feel like a Starfleet officer. This is for when I want to be actually efficient and just get through the damn thing quickly.
Franklin Drake says you can be trusted, and that is enough for me. There's more going on here than a diplomatic conference. Sela has no interest in courting the Federation. So why is she suddenly doing so now? We're going to find out what she's up to. The lower level of this facility is off limits to everyone but the Empress and her aides. But that access hatch right over there opens up to a maintenance tunnel that leads down. The doorway is guarded, so while I distract the guards, you sneak through the door.
Apologies, I had a message from Steam. And I'm just gonna sneak by.
The hatch is just ahead in the northeast corner of the room. There will be a security room near the exit of the maintenance tunnel on the level below us. Access one of the consoles there. Maybe you'll learn more about what she's doing. I need to get back to the reception before I'm missed. But I should be able to cover your absence for a few minutes. More than that, and you're on your own.
I'm halfway down the ladder. Or I'm all the way down the ladder. It's a little creepy, to be perfectly honest. Doesn't help that there's no way you can climb up a ladder in STO. Par agreement, sphere in the Pilatus system, new hunting grounds, and interesting prey. Typical Hirogen. Let's hope things don't screw up with this.
Empress, the fleet is on its way to Vulcan.
Excellent. Have the weapons loaded aboard my ship. I will depart as soon as they are on board. At last, we will have our revenge for the destruction of Romulus. Hail Hakiv and put him through to my personal terminal. Then leave me. I have matters to attend to.
Yes, Empress.
What, brooding like an idiot? Remember when I said things would screw up? Yeah, that's one of them.
Computer, begin playback of file 2895 Gamma.
After I left Starfleet, I made it my life's work to reunite the Romulans with their Vulcan brothers. For many years, I lived among them and waged a campaign of peace. 21 years ago, the star of the Hobus system went supernova and sent a wave of devastation across the quadrant. I promised to save the Romulan homeworld. I failed.
Computer end file. I cannot suffer more of that arrogant fool. Soon, Vulcan will suffer the same fate as my world.
I have Hakiv, Empress.
Patch him through.
Greetings, Empress.
My fleet has launched for Vulcan. I expect you to rendezvous with us there.
Alas, I must disappoint you. The terrorist cells of the Romulan Republic demand my full attention. Kittimer did not go as planned. Now they have powerful allies, and with Taurus missing.
Spare me your excuses, Hakiv. Nothing is more important than avenging the destruction of our homeworld. You disappoint me, Hakiv. I trust you will not do so again.
Let's get this over with. Ambush. But yeah, the Federation is rarely interested in violating interstellar treaties. Romulans and Klingons? Oh, they violate treaties all the freaking time. The Federation tries to avoid such things. Unless, of course, Section 31 is involved, in which case all bets are off. Of course, with Section 31, you have plausible deniability. With the Tal Shiar, there's no such thing.
I should have known the Federation would send spies instead of diplomats. And you call us treacherous. No matter. You may have destroyed these weapons, but my fleet is already en route to Vulcan. You cannot stop what has begun. Guards! Capture the intruders!
Hate to say it, Sela, but I've already thwarted Stage 1. I am not looking forward to the vault. In fact, I'm half tempted to skip the vault, for the sake of my sanity.
Whatever you did down there, it made quite an impression. Good work on disabling the transport inhibitor. Your ambassadors are safely back on their ships, but I had to blow my cover to get them there. Now it's time for me to get out while I still can. Farewell.
You know what, for the sake of my sanity, I will be skipping the vault. It's not like I need to do the mission again. In all honesty, I don't need to. I don't want to fly around in a shuttle. Shuttlecraft, I've said it many times. Shuttles suck.
Thank you for rescuing me.
And in case you're wondering, yes, I would
not have believed anyone capable of this treachery,
I've played the stupid Mushroom Kingdom mission, and I hate it. The only reason I have that engineer, one, it was forced on me, two, it's a free engineer with temporal specialization. I can live with it. Yeah, not a very tactical ship, is it? It's more science and engineering than it is... well, an effective battleship. Even though it is a very effective cruiser-class vessel. I mean, just look at that pod. It is built as a torpedo boat.
I thought we'd never be free of that blasted field. I'm gonna recommend
I mean, it has torpedo tubes all over it. This thing is built as a torpedo cruiser. And I'm disappointed that it's a science ship with limited weapons.
I had not expected to hear from you so soon. Was your mission successful? I should have expected as much. You cannot trust them. I never do. I am contacting all available ships. We will meet you there. Thanks to your warning, we were able to divert some ships to defend Vulcan. I have come to personally command the defense. The other forces have already been briefed. Your role in this battle will be to defend the science vessels that have set up a tachyon detection grid to detect any cloaked Romulan ships. We cannot allow the ships maintain...
Yeah... I'm literally flying around in a ship that pretty much debuted during something like this. We don't need to hear any of that.
How can you fight what you cannot see? Surrender now, and I may give you a merciful death.
That's what the tachyon detection grid's for.
Our tachyon detection grid has revealed scout ships attempting to penetrate the perimeter.
What did I just say? How interesting.
Not oppose them. We are
eternally stupid. No offense, lady, but your single-minded obsession with the annihilation of the United Federation of Planets isn't working.
Sela has launched her assault. Science base, maintain formation. All other forces converge on the Romulan fleet.
I mean, seriously. So that is the secret to Science Ship DPS. You simply must use specialist abilities. Good to know. Sadly for me, I typically don't use any of the specialized stuff. Apologies. I had an early morning. Anywho. Let's take these Romulan bastards out.
Reinforcements are en route. Hold the line.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll follow your lead.
The only one I really need to deal with is her. And oh, look at that. No, seriously, all we have to do is just take out the Leavol, and mission's over. I still prefer shooting things to space magic.
You may have won this day, but the fight will continue. Romulus will be avenged. There will be blood for blood, death for death. My world is gone. I will not rest until Vulcan suffers the same fate. Indeed. Then why does Starfleet use ships equipped with weapons of mass destruction? Why did the Vulcan Science Council willfully refuse to assist us when there was a chance to save our world? Every sorrow in my life can be laid at the feet of the Federation.
What sorrow? Just lovely. And rather fitting, because in a couple of days, your time, I will be playing around with more Borg technology in the form of legendary Romulan ships.
I have new mission.
Housecoat Gaming signing off.